All right, that was a very very close in game.
Yeah, I feel like the possibility space in Exceed Endgames is narrow enough that it makes you want to try to calculate everything, but still big enough that it's really hard to do.
Yep. And even
Like,
knowing
we can't.
everything, right? Like at comparable player skill levels, it's almost always a mix-up that comes down to how thoroughly does everyone evaluate their follow-ups and which way do
Yeah.
you believe the opponent is going to like going to act. And to some extent, like watching their previous behavior, what do you think they have in hands, right? That's something that I enjoy
Yeah.
trying to evaluate. Is like, what do I think they held if they kept a hand for a long time? Because that gives me a
Right.
sense of what they're trying to do.
And I mean, you can't, the earlier in the game you go, the harder it is to do any of this stuff, to the point where eventually it sort of becomes unfeasible. But as it ticks down to the end game, you start to be able to calculate all that stuff, so your brain starts calculating all that stuff, so then you get really tired.
Yeah, you're like, okay, they're out of grasps. All right, they're out of this, they're out of that. Okay, so we don't have to worry about this.
Right.
Yep. All right, so this new matchup is going to be Ino from Strive versus Akuma from Street Fighter. Zain choosing to go first. Ino has as a one force action, advance 2 and strike. Akuma has critical. So each of these characters has a gauge-related mechanic. When Akuma sets his attack, he may spend 1 gauge. If he does, his attack is critical, which means it activates whatever critical triggers are on it. Also, all of his attacks have this critical trigger. So basically, he can spend a gauge to give both players +2 power. He also has some critical text on some of his cards, which will change their properties. Makes Go Hadoken faster, but a little weaker. Mind that is, balanced out by his ability. Gives another property to Zoga Hisatsu, gives another property to Hyakushu. Doesn't affect the ultras. But yeah, big power over here, and then big movement over here. Usually played as a rushdown. Her ability is, her mechanic is cancel. If she plays after she plays a boost with the cancel icon, she may spend a gauge to take another action instead of ending her turn. So once she builds up gauge, she can do a lot of things. Once Akuma builds up gauge, he can kill you or die. One of the two.
So I know that Zain has a particular zany Eno line, which is I think we are going to 100% expect to see Exceed mode this game.
That's not what I was thinking
I think really I was under the impression that Zain really really loves Exceed mode
He does, but he sheds a tear for getting rid of Megalomania. Megalomania is his dream.
Of course.
Right. The opponent discard their hand, as we just saw, is something that Zain quite likes to do. All right, so Ino prepares turn 1. Akuma boosts Ashura Senku, and I believe that was prepare as a follow-up. So add this to your gauge, take another action. Now has critical online. Ino uses 1 force to advance 2 and strike with her ability. Now coming in at range 2. With 1 Ghost Street you can down. Akuma's range 2 options are not amazing. He's fine. Like, range 2 is a good range for him. But it is probably a better range for Ino, who has literally every special operating very, very effectively. Oh, well, an Cross is going to work against everything, including Cross.
Calls it out. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So the fact that Akuma chose not to critical that, despite knowing that it was guaranteed against any one card, suggests that Akuma is going to, be
build
building
gauge.
up. Yeah, building up.
Yeah.
Most Akuma players wait for the Exceed mode. Some will play the Ultras, but most are going to flip as soon as they have 3 gauge, typically. Looks like Inkie might actually be considering flipping a little earlier than that. Nope, prepares. Okay.
Yeah, so Akuma 2 gauge Exceed mode, but a critical effect means that effectively before he builds another gauge, he basically doesn't have an ability at all.
Yeah. All right. Boost Faultless, +4 guard. Gains gauge if Akuma passes the turn back to her. See, both these players have been playing a lot of neutral. We haven't seen super aggressive play on either side. Light, okay, so Faultless goes to gauge. Akuma now with speed might also have power, right? Is threatening basically +2 speed and +2 power. Daring Ino to challenge that.
Yeah, not the guardiest character in the world either. Is hoping to dodge whatever it is that that Akuma would throw. I feel like just throwing a dive here on Akuma's side is pretty good.
If he gets to initiate, yes. She boosts small with the game and does not cancel. She is confident here. Akuma is definitely suggesting that he's going to throw a Go Hadoken, the second Go Hadoken, or a dive. Critical dive would be 7 power at speed 6. Trades with focus. Trades down pretty badly with focus. A critical Go Hadoken, I think, only loses to... Actually, no, it doesn't really lose to anything.
Even like EX Chemical Love, I'm not sure, would be... Chemical Love is 6 speed, correct?
Yeah, so crit Go Hadoken would be speed 7 and 5 power. The question really is whether, if Akuma has it, is he willing to use it?
Right.
And then if he has the dive, is he willing to come in and risk trading with focus?
Yeah. So even with the speed and power, it is still a mix-up. It's just a mix-up that Akuma is very in control of.
Yeah. He can play the unbeatable side, or he can play the higher value side on EX. This is probably not a good idea. Yeah, EX Chemical gets outsped. Yep.
Yeah, we called it. Okay.
Yep. So if that had been dive, notably, EX Chemical would have won. But Akuma played the safe move, punishes the EX Chemical love, has 5 power. Yep. Yeah, that wins the speed tie. So Ino's going to take 4 and get stuns, which loses both her chemical loves, which are useful attacks for the properties as a reversal, being above cover 3 and 4, but also has a phenomenal boost on it.
Yeah, hover dash is incredible.
Yep, both of those hitting the discard is nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 4 damage on an Akuma strike, you're feeling okay about that. I feel like what you're really, really hurting is the loss of hover dash.
Yeah. Yeah, like Ino didn't lose that strike by much on numbers. She lost that strike by options. Like that she actually spent that EX Chemical Love that she could have had in a later strike that it actually would have won. Right. That's really, really bad for her.
Yeah.
Boost Let's Rock, trying to find a way to recoup some value, probably refund or recover some gauge. Akuma ahead by 8 life. Not I would say in a particularly secure position, but in a good position. Boost for speed at range 4, kind of still threatening to have Tatsu or dive. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Tatsu, he has a, actually is it this card? It's this card. This is redundant with dive for the purposes of most interactions. A little worse against things like sweep, but okay. Yep, so Ino jumps into range 2 with her ability, tries to play a speed 5 against that +1 speed, and is immediately punished. Goshiryuken comes up, punches her for 3, stuns her, knocks her back, and gains 2 gauge because of that hit effect on Spite. That's brutal.
That definitely brutal. Notably, though, kind of looking for upsides on Ino's side here, that is both Goshiryuken's down on Inkie's side, and that is one of Akuma's best power confirms, for sure.
Yeah, that's a really dominant option, especially important in this matchup where Ino normally loves range 2. As we have seen, that Goshiryu forced her into, just getting destroyed, basically. It was not guaranteed, notably, right? If she had, that was not crit. So if she had played Stroke the Big Tree, then it would have traded, and Ino would have had advantage.
Right.
But as she did not, that was just a clean win. All right, there we go. And this is the reason a lot of Akuma players will wait to exceed before they use his ability very much. +3 speed is what this says. It just means that you must critical your next attack, because it says if you have 3 more bonus power, +3 speed.
Yep, and notably, that's what Akuma's character ability on Exceed mode says.
Yep, there's a +3 power. Prepares, bracing for the inevitable.
I feel like right here you just mash Yakushu if you got it, right?
Oh yeah, Yakushu is completely free. You could also play a Spike by the same token, right? There is no EX cross, there is no EX Chemical Love. So critical strike, probably one of those things. Could be the 7 power assault for advantage. That's a little riskier. But yeah, so Hyakushu is his arguably his best special. Like, definitely one of his most dangerous tools overall because of all the things it does. Like, great boost, great attack, great critical, effective even when not critical thanks to that after effects. Really phenomenal card.
Wild swing.
All right, well, there's no way that wins. Yeah, that's an 8 power
that doesn't help.
Yep. All right, Akuma hits for 8. Ino gets crushed.
Akuma has never seen a sweep that he couldn't stun.
Yeah, true enough. All right, Ino initiating raw 1 card at range 3. She's actually pretty solid here, and I'm not sure Akuma has any viable answers. Like, with no boost in play, Ino can simply play a speed 5 card, maybe Interpress Scale? Nope, dive, okay.
Oh, that's a pretty big deal, losing the other boost there. Oh, man. Well, we're losing ultras all over the place.
All right, and dive actually beats the sweep, which, would have traded against a bunch of things. Ino on the board. All right, well, it's not a perfect.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I was about to say when you said that Akuma doesn't have very many answers here, I was about to say that Akuma might not care about not having very many answers here, but losing the cards that he just lost on those wild swings,
notably lost
and then
2
whipping a sweep as well,
and one of the other ultra, which admittedly is not used as commonly, but is pretty horrifyingly strong if it is used, and has a great boost when you are already ahead in boost for. Reshuffle action, that makes sense.
Reshuffle, makes a lot of sense.
Back. Yeah. All
so
right.
Can effortlessly get out of the corner here. You
Yep.
assume that she'll be moving back to range 2.
She will probably be doing that and then probably striking with my guess is Struck Victory. Could be a wild swing, could be anything. But yeah, now we have both Kushoryus online again in theory, which makes it like perpetually dangerous. Is this a raw strike or good old-fashioned ordinary strike? It is, and that's going to work.
Okay.
Wait, that card's not allowed to win
Guitar stamping
strikes.
to get out.
This is like the first time I've ever seen Zain win a strike with guitar stamping. He tries
After
all
many
the
attempts,
time.
it sounds like.
But yes, that builds an extra gauge, gets out of the corner, evades everything slower than it has really phenomenal win cases. It's massively undercurved, right? That's a speed 4 attack, at best at range 3, but in this case played at range 1, which is generally where it's strongest.
Honestly, very similar in practice to using dive to get out of the corner, but this dive
It's a dive that hits you, gives
and,
you extra gauge.
yeah, which is not bad as dives go.
Quite good. That was a really big deal for She's now at 4 gauge, close to 5. At 5, she will have Megalomania online, which, setting aside the property of making the opponent discard their hands. Oh, what? Critical strike?
Critical strike at 4.
I guess there are no EXs. There's
no
EX
chemical love.
Yeah, so the only EX that matters here is the Sultry. No, that's down. Smell the game was played. Okay, so this can just be dive, and can't do much anything about that. I guess she could play focus.
Do you have focus block?
I guess it could be also the Hadouken that was drawn after reshuffle. I wouldn't expect it to be spent this early though. Yeah, she's probably going to have to reshuffle kind of soon just to get her Chemical Loves back online, which is funny because she's got 13 cards left in deck, and one wouldn't normally reshuffle at that point. Okay, it is dive, and it's going to get dodged. No, it's not. I can't read cards. That's... What? What?
Oh, it's a hit effect. So antidepressant scale misses.
Okay. Clearly they thought that was like an after effect or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty unfortunate way to misread a card. This is the exact... Yeah, okay. Yes, as Rose points out in chat, Spectre Knight has done incalculable damage to people's ability to read this card. Spectre Knight has a similar card with an after effect.
Yeah. Bounding Soul?
No, it is Throwing Sickle.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm thinking about the if you moved part of Bounding Soul, but no, yes. I see what you mean.
The 2 to 3 speed 5 with movements that gets you out of sweeps range if you are at range 3. The properties I'm talking about. The before effect actually is similar to Bounding Souls. I guess it's 2 Spectre Knight cards mashed together. All right, exceeds. There you go. You're right. She wanted that exceed mode. Akuma crits, just going for lethal. Probably grasp. We'll see. If she survives this strike, she might be allowed to play the game for a little while. But being down 19 life against Akuma is pretty bad. All right, yeah, she's dead. She called this though.
Yep.
Whew. All right, good game. Yeah, Akuma decisively crushing Ino's hopes, dreams, and hat. Inkie 2-0 over Zain. Whew.
Sometimes it be like that. I feel like the Akuma play was textbook, right? Like this is pretty much what you expect and what you want out of Akuma. Yeah. I feel like it's on Ino to diffuse that, because you sort of know what you're going to get with Akuma.
Yep. And a few cheeky callouts were made. I did really love that guitar stamming. I think that could have been a springboard for a recovery. Unfortunately, the EX Chemical Love cost her so much in the long run because of those options just not being around to be threatening or relevant. Yep. Like that was excruciating. Being able to throw something like that, something Akuma isn't expecting, where you say, actually I'm speed 7 at range 4, is exactly how you can shut down this Akuma line, right? Like he's sitting back playing defensively, waiting to confirm his power, does something that is extremely safe and reliable, and then you surprise him by saying, actually it wasn't. That's generally one of the most effective ways to crush this line into the dirt, because you overturn his advantage and turn it back on.
And then you hit him for +3 power because he just crit.
Yeah. She also has her own speed boost and power boost, but is pretty resource reliant, as a lot of Strive characters are. Not to the same extent as some other seasons, but yeah, getting wrecked in particular by discarding both hover dashes, I think that was more or less a killing blow. All right, I'm gonna be
that's rough.
Closing down the stream.
All right, thanks so much, D.
Thanks very much for having me, for joining me. There we go. This time I'm hosting, not you. All right. All right. Well, see you all around. Drink water. It's good for you. Stay hydrated.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.